Technic and only.
What's good, everybody? I'm Nerd Mafia. That's Trev. And we're here to talk about Daredevil. If you got a problem with that or you don't like it, then don't watch. and that's how it's going to be. Check down below us. You can see this is a full spoiler zone. We're going to talk about everything related to Daredevil on TV for this series. And maybe some more, maybe some less. I don't know. Depends how we're feeling. If you don't like it, too bad. Because that's what we're doing tonight. We're going to break down the episode a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't have any good visuals because Disney Plus is stupid, and it made me upset tonight, mostly because I'm dumb and forgot to do something, click a button. But we'll get through it either way. Got a wealth of knowledge between the two of us, mostly tilting to my guy over here. But either way, we'll rip through this episode, talk about the things that mattered, some theories, some not theories, some fact, some false, whatever we need to, and eventually we'll make our way over to these predictions in this game we've been playing since the first week and see where everybody stands. Sound good, Trev?
Sounds good.
All right. What's up, Daniel Fisher? Daniel Fisher got his first he's the first ever to buy some merchandise from the channel. He grabbed himself a nice Black Nerd Mafia t-shirt, threw it up in the Discord. So he's cooler than everybody else right now. I don't know what to say else about that. He's the coolest guy here. He got his shirt before I even got my stuff. Like, what is this about? Nah, it's good. But anyway, man, just like we always start off, how'd you feel about this episode? Just before we even break it down.
I would say it was not. It was okay. Not maybe verging on good.
Yeah.
Not great. I mean, you can. I didn't especially like some of the subplots that were introduced. I really like the Frank scene. Like,
yeah.
Spoilers, obviously there, but I really enjoyed that. But I mean, it was okay. It was kind of an uneven episode, but it was okay.
I'm kind of right there with you. Like, I think I've been saying since we started it, like, they're just gonna torment him into being the devil of Hell's Kitchen again. But the burn is kind of slow. You know, maybe he needs like more of a giant shove. And this is to be expected too. I mean, if you remember back to the first season, it took we didn't even see him in his costume. He didn't have one, like, officially. He just had like a shirt around his face, basically, until like the last episode. You know,
yeah. Well, I mean, like, that's the black costume that he wears is like it was used in the comic books. It was just trying to be authentic to the comics, I think, right? So
yeah. Still not what we want to see.
I like that look. I actually like that look.
Really?
Just when he was just in the black, yeah.
I don't know. It kind of reminded me of like Kanan from Star Wars Rebels. Draw a couple little eyes. You know?
Okay, I see what you're saying there, but
yeah. Just the way the
Matt Murdock was blind and used that style way before Kanan was ever invented.
I know, I get it.
You know.
Maybe I thought about that because I was watching Rebels today too, but whatever.
And even then, that was in the third season of Rebels. The season of Rebels was like in 2014, 2015. So, you know.
All right, so I'm going off memory now. I really had it all organized, guys. I promise. It was going to look so spectacular. We were just going to jump through screenshots like we did for Invincible. I was all proud of myself, and I looked over and saw, oh, I just took a bunch of black pictures. This isn't going to do anything. Trev's just sitting here laughing at me. But anyway, so we start off this episode with I guess I'll jump into like some of the subplots. We get like I don't know if he was homeless, but he kind of looked like a homeless dude. He talks later in the episode about kind of diving through dumpsters to eat. Basically, dude gets arrested for stealing caramel corn.
Yeah, the fiddle battle.
Yeah, That whole maybe it's easier just to go through the subplots because we don't have the chronological order I would have had with the pictures. But I mean, if this is a character I should be familiar with, I'm not. And
if he is, I'm not aware of him as a supporting character for Daredevil. But like, I mean, that's like I said,
yeah,
I'm more of a '90s Daredevil kind of guy. And I mean, and saying that, he seems like they're just kind of setting it up for like some kind of like sympathy look at the prison system and the homeless, and like Matt Murdock doing. I don't know exactly how it's going to tie into the police angle, and if it does, I'm not 100% sure. Like, it might, but
right.
it seems more like Matt doing almost like Matt doing good charity work kind of thing for like in the eyes of the law, kind of like in the law aspect of the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so.
See, I took it kind of as like them trying to point out, and he kind of admits it towards the end when he's describing it to his girlfriend, like, guy's doing 10 days for candy or caramel corn.
Yeah,
like he's coming to realize the
injustices of our society and the way our law works and everything else.
Yeah, the system's broken. That's basically what's the revelation I think Matt's gonna have by the end of this. So that's a part of it. I feel like the guy was kind of just a dick, like the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, he was. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't up until the point where he had that last line with Matt. You weren't really it was hard to have sympathy for him.
Yeah.
Up until he had that last line, kind of the last kind of little monologue, last little kind of soliloquy, I should say, he had.
Right.
To Matt, that made Matt kind of change the way he kind of looked at it. But
yeah, I mean, even then though, it's like, dude, you got caught and you got a rap sheet a mile long. Like, do you expect this guy to just get you probation when you've had a long, what do you want from him? Stop yelling at your blind lawyer and making fun of him. It was kind of just pissing me off watching it.
And it sounds like he was being like a public defender for him as well. Like this is like a
pro bono.
Yeah.
I don't know if she said that. I actually have to go back and remember the conversation. She she made it seem like they were doing somebody a favor, but maybe I know they have to do a certain amount of pro bono work.
Yeah.
So maybe that was what she was talking about. I kind of fizzled, like it blurred out in my mind getting back to it. But yeah, we get that whole thing. That's one of the subplots that goes down. And I kind of thought he was just going to go talk to the prosecutor and be like, fuck this guy. That's what I was expecting more so. Be like, yeah, this guy wants this. Do what you need to do.
And saying that, during that, when he talks to the DA, who should be giving him more of a hard time considering what happened in the previous episode, right?
Yeah, but I mean, look, if you think about it, she's probably like an assistant DA, like low level.
But that's the whole thing, though. He said that guy said he was going to set all of his minions to like that. You're going to have a hard time crossing the street. You're going to do it seems like that should have been more. Seems but it seems like I would have thought it would have been more in play there.
Yeah. So I guess that means it probably won't. But
yeah, and they also introduced the concept that the DA, the assistant DA, the ADA, is Latvian, which then goes into the next subplot of it kind of goes into like where Kingpin is living his life as the busy mayor kind of thing. He wants to rebuild. I believe it was called Red Hook, right?
Yeah.
That port area.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if is that an authentic area of New York, Red Hook?
Daniel Fisher can tell us that. He's actually right in this neighborhood. He lives in Hell's Kitchen. Daniel Fisher actually is Matt Murdock.
But it sounds like he was getting really frustrated with his assistant there. I can't think of her name off the top of my head.
Who knows?
Not Daniel, but the woman who says she's gonna. It sounds like she serves lots of mayors. Like she served lots of politicians in this role.
Red Hook's Brooklyn. That actually makes sense.
Yeah. So But yeah, he's getting very frustrated with like that he's not able to just kind of go through the red tape, that she wants him to go through the rules. And it looks like he's going along with it, but he's getting frustrated by it. He wants to just kind of do what he wants to do because he wants to live up to his promises, maybe, or whatever kind of things he's got working on other levels that the audience isn't necessarily aware of yet. And
you got their stories running in parallel. Yeah. Like they're both trying to like work within the system, and it's not working. And they're starting to, by the end of this episode, well, we'll get there. But
that's a good point you make, that they're both they're both noticing that working within the confines of the system isn't working for themselves, because they want to, they feel they can be more effective outside of the system, right? So that's a really good point you make, and you always know their stories are juxtaposed against each other, right?
Yeah.
Like, so like it's, but yeah, that's a really
I honestly noticed it more. It clicked in my head as I was taking my failed screenshots. But getting back to that, what is the deal? And I guess this is kind of playing more into that too. It's just showing like Fisk starting to kind of like lose faith in what he's doing within those confines. With we built this city on rock and roll, both from like the school, the elementary school kids,
and then again at the Latvian cultural center or embassy, wherever they were.
By the way, I did double take when they said Latvian, because for a second I'm like, did they say Latvian? Almost had me. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
actually,
that's where that lawyer was from too. Like I said, she was from Latvia as well. She was, so there's got to be something with that. Why would the ADA be Latvian and he goes to visit a Latvian? I don't know what that is. I don't know, why is that? Why are those both something in this episode?
I don't know, and
it's just weird, right? Don't you find that weird? Like I find that weird that the district attorney was that, and he goes to visit that. I don't. There could be something there. There could be nothing there. I'm not 100% sure, but it was a weird thing when he went there and the lawyer already was that. But
I find it weird that they even like recognize Latvia as a real country, because I feel like Latveria would be the move. Like I always thought Latveria was supposed to be the MCU's version of Latvia. You know what I mean? So it was really odd to me.
Well, I mean, Latvia is a real country.
I know it is, but you know what I mean? Like
Latveria doesn't replace Latvia in the comic books. Latvia is a real country.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's just so strange. So strange how like they base the name basically off it. They just changed some words around.
What you think about is how he was reacting when those kids were singing badly, like in the classroom and everything.
He's just like, fucking shoot me in the head. Like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore.
And when they said they got another song for him, and he's just like,
Daniel,
good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like they kind of had a little bit of chemistry too, right? Like that like it could be, and saying that's kind of Matt Murdock's thing, is that he's kind of I know he's seeing the therapist right now, but he is kind of he's kind of like a male slut kind of thing, right? Like,
bro, his senses, he knows when chicks are horny for him.
Yeah.
He can hear their heartbeat. Like he
can smell and everything else. Yeah.
Pheromones, all like he does not strike out. He shoots a shot only when it's time. Like he's got a perfect record. Speaking of that too, going back to before we miss it, like in between him going back to see his client and be like basically just harassed, he takes the cop, baits him into jacking him up against the wall, and tests him. Like basically does his lie detector test on him while he's jacked up against the wall. He's like, damn, you didn't do it.
Yeah, to hear his heartbeat. That's yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Notice that. That was cool. That made sense, obviously.
So and that's the cop that obviously beat him up in the end of episode 2, and he was the cop that was involved with I can't think of his last name right now. Officer well, regardless, anyway. So like so he
Cherry, you talking about?
No, not Cherry. Just the guy you're just talking about. Like, so he has the Punisher tattoo on his wrist, right? He's the. So it's interesting that he's not. And because I thought they would have been more involved with this guy. So this guy's kind of this other guy who's cosplaying as the Punisher
Mm-hmm.
and shot Hector.
Yeah, which we don't know who it was yet, but
we don't know who it was, but there's leaks and rumors that indicate that it's probably this other cop guy, right? But I don't. It's just it's weird that they're not like that. He wasn't aware that this cop was going to do that. Like they're not operating Officer Powell yet.
Yeah. Be potential outcome. I mean, that was obviously his first suspect, dude. Basically tried to kill him in the apartment. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to run through what I did have planned in my head. Not missing the fact that he finds the shell casing, which horrible job by NYPD. Not seeing that. Tracks that down to really crazy that they're just rocking all the Punisher's imagery. Everything they do, they're edging it into the shell casing, and they wouldn't pick that up. Like, go find it themselves before they leave. Because there's like no witnesses to that. He doesn't even know. I actually kind of called this when I was talking about it on Monday night. I was like, look, we're all assuming he's just going to go see Punisher. Very possible he doesn't, because nobody actually saw this guy in the Punisher gear. There's no witnesses to this murder that we know of, you know?
Yeah.
So that's how they fill that in.
As far as we know, there's no witnesses. But like it just shows that the cops weren't even willing to investigate the murder, right?
Yeah.
So they didn't spend any time investigating the murder scene. They didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, before all this too, we get and I misspoke too. I was thinking that his niece, White Tiger's niece, was actually who is like White Tiger in the long run, but it's actually she has it for like a short amount of time and actually goes to his sister in the comics. I did not know that. And she's got a totally different name too. So the video I put out, I totally jacked that up. But it is what it is. I just called her Ayala. You know?
That actress was pretty good.
Yeah, I think, and it might have been. It's probably the perfect age to cast her in for this, because if they're gonna bring her back, it's probably gonna be a couple years from now.
Yeah, how old do you think she was? Maybe 15, 16? Maybe 14, 15, maybe something like that. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, she was definitely short, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. They could have found a way to make it work, and they left themselves plenty of room for like a year or two from now. Who knows? She probably fits that role perfectly, you know? Or
yeah, I don't think she appears outside of Daredevil though, or outside of.
Probably not.
Yeah, I can't see her. Yeah, like she's not going to be like in anything major. She's just going to be a supporting character in this show.
I think the only place there's really room for Daredevil and like his characters to pop up, maybe just for a second, kind of like how the Rebels, like the Ghost ship, popped up in like Rogue One, like kind of thing, or maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. Will be like in Spider-Man. That's the only setting that would really work, you know.
Any other kind of street level, because they don't make sense. They don't make sense on a cosmic level, really, kind of thing, right? Unless they're just kind of looking up at something.
Yeah, or eventually, maybe down the road, Fantastic Four could work. So New York based too, but it wouldn't be like a big plot. They'd just maybe appear in a newspaper article or something, probably like that. Yeah. But yeah, we got that going on. The Red Hook thing. We get more couples therapy. I think I actually, I got her right. Her name is Heather. She basically calls out like, do you guys, are you in this to keep the marriage going or to separate? You know? And then she's like, do you feel safe with this guy? So that was interesting.
Yeah, and the way that Vanessa very calmly said, like, she's very confident he would never hurt me. He would never do anything like that. But when she asked if there was any infidelity, I have this working idea that I think, and Kingpin says never, or something along those lines. He says never.
Yeah.
I have this working theory that that's going to be a lie, because I think there's something in the show that maybe we'll talk about at the end, but like it's just like I said, I think that's a lie, and I think it's going to end up where Vanessa's.
Talk about it now. This is perfect time.
Okay.
You can go with it.
So we have James Gandolfini's son, right, playing Daniel.
Yeah.
Playing Daniel, playing Kingpin's aide. That we see in this thing, he screws up. He talks to the Urix. He gets drunk. He talks to allegedly anyway. The way he says it happened is that he talks that way. Remember, this is the way that he says it happened, right? We don't see it happen. Yeah. He says that he got drunk, got a little too loose with his lips and everything else, and let it be known that he was going to be like that Wilson was going to be talking to the union, the garbage union leaders, right? Like the trash union leaders, I believe. Right?
Yeah.
And anyway, they leaked it out in a way that was going to be bad press for Wilson to keep doing it. So obviously they canceled it, and that's why he went to the Latvian embassy. But the way he forgives Daniel, and the way like when Daniel's talking to him, and you see like Wilson had the idea that he was gonna kill him. I think like that was Wilson's first thought.
Yeah.
Right. That's the Kingpin's first thought is he's gonna kill this guy. But then you hear him talking to him, and then he seems like he likes the way he's loyal. He likes the way that he's constantly there for him. He likes the way that Daniel's essentially sucking up to him. And so I have this idea because of previous lines that Wilson has said, where Wilson says something like, "I learned from watching my father. I learned from all these things." I think that Daniel might be Wilson Fisk's son. He might be I believe his name is Richard Fisk. He was a character that is Wilson Fisk's son. And in the comic books he might be I'm not sure if he's Vanessa's son as well. But in the comic books, Vanessa kills him. Yeah. And he's a character that is the Rose. It's a purple mask with sunglasses. He leaves Rose there everywhere behind. It's kind of like he becomes like a rival gang leader to the Kingpin.
Yeah.
And he's working against his father, but his father doesn't know that it's him. But I just have this feeling that like they cast James Gandolfini. I don't want to say it's a stunt casting, but it just feels weird that like he played his father in the Sopranos prequel.
Yeah.
He comes over here and the Kingpin is essentially Tony Soprano kind of thing. He's essentially a Tony Soprano type character.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just have this sneaky feeling that Daniel is going to end up being the Kingpin's son that the Kingpin doesn't know is his son. That's my working theory right now for Daniel, and that Daniel's going to be trying to work some kind of angle there, where maybe he's sucking up to his father right now, but I think he also wants to take him down, and maybe embarrass him. Maybe not, but I like. But my inkling is that he's going to be. He may not appear as the Rose in the show, but I think he's going to be Fisk's son.
I mean, honestly, I didn't think about it that much until you brought it up. But when you break it down, it's like, why else is this guy here? Yeah. And what is this role about? Like, what was the need for this?
What is that role? Why is he getting so many? Like, he's getting a lot. He's getting significant lines. He's not just in the background. There's always some kind of subplot with him in every episode, right?
Yeah.
There's always some kind of like. Whether it be like him getting Urix is it his niece or his daughter into see Kingpin, screwing up with Urix. Yeah.
And this is 2 times he's done it now. Like yeah. Sabotage him.
Yeah.
Oh, you got Daniel Fisher's seal of approval.
Yeah. So like I said, so I think a crescendo to this season might be. Like if they follow the comic books more accurately, which they might not, it might be where let's say he's working against Wilson, and Vanessa sees it and kills him.
I would actually like it if Fisk kills him. Not gonna lie, because that could be his arc, like back into badness, you know?
Yeah, potentially.
They could switch it up a little bit.
But again, that's just I might not be right. But that's just my inkling is that is who he is, because I don't it just the casting in itself, just when I think about it, just the all just kind of it fits for me, and the way he's acting, and Kingpin's line about like Kingpin had the line, "I learned underneath my father." I think like almost immediately right after the scene with Daniel, or like I'm just like,
Yeah.
hmm.
It's a good theory. Honestly, it makes a lot. Like I said, it makes, if anything at all, it makes a lot of sense. Because otherwise, like, why is this guy here? Why is this guy a character at all? Like, what are we doing? What are we setting up? You know?
Yeah.
And like I said, I think it would be, it could play into like heavily like his arc of just like turning back into the villain completely. You know? Because so far, well, up until like the very end of this episode, Kingpin was actually not doing so bad. You know? Like.
I mean, yeah, he was doing his best, and but saying that this whole time while he's doing his best, that Adam guy is locked in a cage, beating the shit out of him.
I love how this whole thing culminates, and you know what, we're all over the place, so screw it. Like, I love how this culminates with like you see them both struggling to just like in parallel, and I think I realized it more looking at it again, like just how they're both trying to like realizing the system doesn't work for them. It finds them too much to do what they want to accomplish. And you get Daredevil kind of busting out his nunchuck, looking at his suits, and practicing up on the roof when he can't sleep, you know. And then you cut right to Fisk saying, "Fuck it, I'm eating sausage and pasta." Like I'm going back to what I want to do. Wow, yeah,
like half a dozen sausages on top of his pasta.
Like Roos, like like Ramsey Bolton style. While I got Adam right behind me in a cage. It's like what? And we haven't even talked about like probably I'd say like the second biggest part of this episode. You know, we got the Frank conversation. We barely even kind of scratched the surface of yet. But we got Muse just pops out right away, right at the beginning of this episode, just carrying the dude fireman style over his shoulder. And I was like, oh, damn, there goes that point I was not going to get from my particular game. And then they shifted from teasing Punisher in the episodes to all of a sudden all the graffiti was signed by Muse. Like every single time you saw a piece of graffiti, it didn't matter what it was. There was one of the Kingpin at the beginning. And it kind of showed like him. That was actually the artwork in the show is actually really crazy. The first one, I wish I had it up right now. It shows like kind of like almost like a Two-Face. Like you have him professional.
And they showed that picture in an earlier episode as well. They showed that
in
an earlier episode as well. Yeah, like the Muse aspect is going to be crazy. And well, yeah, to go back to Daredevil finding the casing with the Punisher logo, him going down to where apparently he knows where the Punisher's been this whole time.
Yeah.
he knows where the Punisher's been this whole time.
What was wild about that whole interaction too is I'm watching it and they're showing you that like he is still fully active in doing what he's doing. Like he's got a gun rack like up there. Some of those guns are badass, by the way. And then behind him, he's got like the whole Sunny in Philadelphia like tree of like he's connecting dots of different criminal enterprises and who he's going after. Like so, he's just being more indiscreet about what he's doing, I guess now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that heart to heart, like that's the beginning of him turning back to it. Like Frank is pushing him, like, hey, like this isn't who you are.
Frank's telling him, yeah. Like I mean, like, when's the last time you said Foggy's name? Say his name.
Yeah, and he needed that, like for sure.
Yeah, because he's been denying himself, right? He's been denying himself for a year, denying his true nature and everything else, right? And that's.
Yeah,
but their interaction was really good. Like Frank's dialogue was pretty good there. Matt's acting like Charlie Cox is acting. I was going to say Courtney Cox. Charlie Cox's acting was like his reaction to John Bernthal and everything else.
Yeah,
that was an excellent scene, and yeah, and like I said, and the ramifications and of that, and like is him realizing. He needs to be Daredevil. And interesting, when he was up on the roof, he went to go check his helmets, his outfits, and everything else. And when he started playing with his nunchucks, he was doing the stuff that the guy in the first season of Daredevil did.
Yeah.
What was the guy who was
Sticks?
Not Stick. Stick was his trainer. There was the guy that he was fighting, the main guy that he was fighting in the first season of Daredevil. like he was one of the guys for the hand, and he was
Yeah.
using that ball thing like that the way Matt was using it, like training at the end of this episode. I don't think I haven't seen Matt train like that before, and it just made me immediately think of that character. I can't.
Yeah, I didn't make that connection.
Yeah, like he fights him like 3 times in the first season of Daredevil, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? The guy he fights in the first season of Daredevil. You remember that character?
I'm trying to. It's been so long. Like all the faces are across my eyes now, across my face now.
He's one of the bosses. He's the boss representing the hand, working with Kingpin, like building all the new stuff and everything, right?
It's not the guy in the glasses, the nerdy guy you're talking about.
No, that's
yeah. All right, yeah.
That's,
I was like, wait a minute.
No, well, that's Wesley, right?
Yeah. No, it's I actually feel like I like this episode more reflecting on it. I'm kind of glad I didn't do this last night because I was just like, I finished that episode in my head, my mind was all over the place. I was just like, and then I'm on call this week too, so shit just got in the way. So my bad about not streaming last night, guys. Yeah, there's a whole lot to unpack with this whole episode. I think.
Nobu.
No. Okay. We're finally in the place though. They built everything up to like, all right, it's about to start going, you know? Like even as Frank is like pushing him, you kind of get the feeling like Frank's ready to like step it up a notch too. Like he's sick of the fanboy cops, you know?
Bunch of fanboys, yeah. You think Frank's gonna be in more episodes here?
Oh yeah. We know. There's some leaked set photos too. Can't hide anything in New York City. Which is kind of cool. They actually shot it in New York City, to be honest with you. You know,
they usually shoot New York City like in Toronto or something.
Atlanta, it's like they do everything, all the tax breaks to get down there. I think most of Spider-Man is there. To be honest with you. No man, yeah, the whole Muse storyline has got me like, as soon as he walks in there, we've seen images from the trailer too of him kind of busting into his like lair, the basement. That I thought that immediately as soon as he drags him in there, and then he just like stabs the guy for his blood. I'm just like, God damn, this is gonna be some sick twisted stuff we get from this character.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I don't even know. If we get like full tableaus and everything, like the way it's gonna be.
He had. I didn't even think about it when I was screenshotting. He had 2 guys already hanging in there too, so 2 people already dead. So yeah, it's gonna get brutal with this guy. I don't know how much longer they're gonna tease us, or if they're gonna keep showing him, because he's obviously not on anybody's radar yet.
Well, he's got to take the therapist, right?
I think he's got to kill her.
But he's got to take her, I think, before he just kills her. But he'll take her and then kill her. But
yeah, I think that's going to be,
because the first thing you see him with it is him getting the book signed by the therapist, right?
Mm-hmm. And he like asks for a session with her.
Yeah, right. So
that's got to be the last straw, like for Matt. Like that pushes him over the edge.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly because we see him in the trailer in costume in that guy's like sewer lair or whatever the hell that was. I think he brought him through a sewer, right? He's like a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, well, he was walking on the subway tracks, and he entered a room off the subway tracks, right?
Something like that, yeah. I don't know. It's I mean, it felt kind of fillery, but at the same time, when you look at all the stuff they're doing, it's all building tension.
Like I said, they're trying to establish, like, the main thrust of the show right now is Matt and Wilson getting back to where they were, right?
Yeah.
getting back to where they were, getting back to operating the way they want to operate, and
You think we're ever going to see Bullseye again in this season?
I mean, I think we'll see him again, but I don't know if we'll see him again this season. I don't know any leaks and rumors that said we see him again.
Yeah.
I think he was just added. Like, he wasn't originally going to be
Oh.
in the show at all, right?
Damn, yeah, you're right.
So I can't see it any more than like that is one scene.
But again, we also got stories that like John Berthal wasn't liking the original script, you know, so I don't think not all of it was the original show. They didn't just like plug in a couple filler pieces. Like they used, like they said something like they used like 60% of it. So maybe like a lot of the middle was the same concept, and then it starts to rev up. I'm guessing anyway. I don't know, but
well, yeah, I think they filmed 3 new episodes or something basically for this, and like for this season, and yeah, but
we get 9 episodes, right? So
yeah, and the original plan was that it was going to be. Remember, the original plan was that season 1 was going to be 18 episodes and 6-episode pods, right?
Yeah.
That was the original plan. So I wonder how that would have played out. Like what each pod would have been. Like would the first pod have been just like the focus on Wilson and Matt kind of like, and again, maybe just they filmed those 6 episodes, which is what we're getting here, and they didn't like that there wasn't enough action in the first 6 episodes, right? So
it was actually kind of a good idea. Like originally do it that way, because I would have made it feel more like Netflix too, like binging it. Yeah. Because it was like about 10 episode seasons. You just pretty much not go to work the next day when that came out.
It's 13 episode season.
Oh yeah, damn. I probably didn't do that. I probably would finish it in like 2 nights, but it was yeah. I don't know, man. We got a lot going on, a lot cooking.
Yeah, like I mean,
the more I think about it, it was a pretty good episode. Well, it was a deep episode.
I think there's a lot to take away from the episode, but like I said, I don't know how much I really, like I said, I felt like the enjoyment factor was still uneven. But like, yeah, but there's a lot to take away from the episode. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. I think when you say it out loud, it's just like, oh, wait a minute, they did all this. They packed a lot in there.
They did. I mean, they're like you said, the main thrust of the show is the dichotomy between Matt and Wilson, like between Daredevil and Kingpin, and like that.
Matt even got laid, you know. So I mean, kudos to him.
I mean, and did Kingpin get laid? I don't think so, right?
I don't think so, man. I think he's got a lot of pent up.
I don't think Vanessa's gonna sleep with him for a while, right? So like,
especially if your theory's right.
Like I said, I have a feeling that's what that he's gonna be. That.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to actually say about this or subplot we missed, but. No, I think almost all of this was just setting us up for something, you know, like you start with the setup right at the beginning of the episode. You set like, hey, Muse is here. It's about to be time. Right. And then the end of the episode, you get that. And then they just set us up through the whole thing. The parallels, Matt and Fisk are like, all right, they're starting to break down. And then even him with his girlfriend, they're like, yeah, start getting attached to her. Start to like her a lot because we're gonna take her away. That's my feeling. Like she doesn't not survive this season. And then
I basically see Matt as having a different girlfriend probably every season.
Yeah, it's like Bond, you know, it's like the blind Bond.
And whether they die or they learn his secret identity and say they can't be a part of this, it's always going to be something like that.
Oh, so this is what I want to talk about. So I went into this episode like really digging into the Foggy stuff. Like, you know, I was talking to you off camera about it. Mm-hmm. I just have the suspicion that like the way that's going to play out, especially from like digging back and looking at the comics, like the way they spun it out in the books, Kingpin was always right around the corner laughing, like as it was going down, you know? And it kind of makes me think if they're like trying to go off that same vibe, he's got something to do with this, especially with Bullseye being the one that shoots him. And Bullseye is always like basically his puppet, you know, whether he knows it or not.
But wasn't Bullseye trying to kill him at the end of season 3 of Daredevil?
Well, that's what I mean. Whether he's being toyed with or not, like he sets it up somehow. I don't know. Like, I feel like Kingpin set this up, and then I don't know why. I can't prove it, you know. But like, I feel like that's gonna somehow he's involved with like Foggy, either voluntarily or involuntarily faking his death. That's what I'm thinking. And maybe just to get them out of the picture so he can still get at Matt without like breaking his promise to not hurt them,
maybe,
you know?
But why is Foggy doing it? Because Foggy's got to be agreeable to do it, right? So what's the reason that Foggy's doing it?
In the books, he's not really agreeing to it. They just they know somebody's out to kill him. And they, you know, and that's kind of where I'm thinking here. I'm thinking, I just don't know why. I don't know what his motivation is, and that's what's bothering me. Like, why does this dude actually want to be mayor? What are we doing? We don't have any grand scheme or plan we're aware of yet. There's no pieces to put together. It's like we're supposed to just believe like he's just turned a new leaf, actually, because of the whole thing in Echo.
Well, wanting to be mayor, like people who want power generally are psychopaths, right? People who want to be in those kind of roles,
yeah,
they're generally psychopaths. Like they're not like, I'm not even just saying like comparing it to like your president or whatever, or like all political leaders. Like, yeah, you might get into it because you want to change society, but ultimately, like, it's power seeking behavior. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just the normal person that wants to do that. That wants to seek control over thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people in like New York's case or whatever, or higher than that, right? Like, it's not. So like, yeah, you might rise up accidentally and have to fill that role, but like, yeah, it's not. People want that power, and if it's someone who's blatantly evil, like the Kingpin,
yeah,
evil on top of like, there's power seeking, and you're kind of like not necessarily evil, but you're like you maybe lean a certain way, but like it's just. But yeah, the Kingpin is. I can't see him being mayor by the end of the season either. Like he's gonna be. I don't know exactly what's gonna happen, but like.
I don't know.
Yeah, like that's.
I don't know what they're trying to do with it in the overall, if they even want him to really.
Because so what happens if he's mayor for multiple seasons? Like he's operating as the Kingpin, and also being the mayor.
You'd have to see him. Well, there's so much uncertainty. What the hell is going on? Because is everything just going to get folded after Secret? You know, after Secret Wars. So it's like, is this guy going to be mayor and somehow in the background messing with Spider-Man? That's what would have been cool. But
you think Daredevil is even going to be affected by Secret Wars?
I don't know.
I can't see them even mentioning it. Even
you hear the word like soft reboot being thrown out so much that it's like it's going to just like toy with certain things, but not all of them, I guess.
Well, and I'm saying that maybe Daredevil's already operating in that soft reboot.
Maybe, man. I'm just kind of roaming through this universe, watching it like Scott Lang. I'm like, did they win? Did he do the right thing?
Because if Daredevil never mentions any of the greater picture of things going on, then they can be operating it really, because it's essentially the world's resetting itself.
Yeah.
People will have lived in a timeline where all of the Spider-Man, the X-Men characters, all the characters that weren't originally in the MCU will have been in the MCU the whole time, right?
I mean, he made reference to Spider-Man. That's about it, right?
Yeah. So, I don't know. else to think about though. Because like I said, because if you let's say they make like I don't know how many episodes shows or how many seasons of the show they're gonna make. Like I know 2 is already being filmed right now. If they make 3, 4, 5, I don't know how many they're honestly gonna make. But like depends how long Charlie Cox and D'Onofrio probably want to do it. I guess right. But like
Daredevil doesn't exactly work in a battle world setting either.
no, he doesn't. He doesn't. Like I mean,
he's just lucky to survive, basically, if he does.
Yeah, well, I mean, like he's a. I don't. There's no benefit to like you kind of want like people want to see Daredevil in that. I'm sure people want to see Daredevil, but logistically and logically, like it doesn't really make sense for him to be there.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't unless he's operating as constantly operating as a ninja, essentially what he's doing, right? Like he's just
pretty much.
There's no other. Or what's he gonna be like, the lawyer for Dr. Doom, and not?
No idea, man. This is the huge difference between like just the Infinity Saga now. Like we don't know what the goal is besides Secret Wars. That's it. We don't know what anything entails. Like that's why it's harder keeping people interested. It's their bottom line. We're building up to Avengers movies, but we have no Avengers.
It's because the focus is because our movie focus is so much different than what the comic focus is.
Yeah.
A comic focus, people focus on their runs. People don't generally absorb the whole universe.
Yeah.
Like when you're reading comic books, like for example, like I bought what did I buy today? Like today's new comic book day, for example. I got like the new Absolute Batman, Absolute Flash, the new Hush reprint facsimile, like Hush, like Batman 613 facsimile foil.
Yeah.
But you're focusing in on what you want to read. You're not focusing. No one reads, or very few people read the whole monthly run of comic books. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
You're reading. Am I reading like 120 Marvel books in a month, or however many books come out? You know
you focus on like what I'm doing. Really, it's just focusing on like the ultimate stories.
Yeah,
minus X-Men because it's just stupid.
So you're reading like 2 or 3 books a month of the and there's how many fucking books a month though, right? But the expectation with the movies, because they cost so much more money, is that everybody has to watch them, otherwise they're financial failures.
Well, it used to be that way because they made it feel like they were all sequels to each other, and they just don't anymore. You know, that was the magic.
Well, the price point's just not like, if the price point for these movies was like back to like 80 million, like 80 and 100, like what Iron Man 1 was 80 million. And I know that's 16 years ago or whatever, 17 years ago now, but like I don't know, man. Like
yeah. Fuck it. Well, next week, I don't even know where we're getting. I don't know if we're going to go back to Punisher all out, or maybe we get more of these cops, or
next week is a 2 episode, right? So it's
oh damn. Yeah, I think I'm definitely just sticking to the night after for now on. I'm not doing the same night. I don't got enough time to gather my thoughts. We're not those guys.
Yeah, maybe you should just when you're watching it, do your prep as you're watching it.
Nah, because then it makes it not fun to watch it. You know, like I want to do that. I want to enjoy it first, and then like I'm still a fan. No, you guys aren't paying me enough to do that yet. You know,
I hear
you. You want that kind of dedication? I need a lot of super chats. All right, but no, screw it. Let's get into.
Are you even qualified to get super chats yet?
I am. Yeah, I wonder if people know that. The channel is monetized, guys. Just not making much money.
There you go. In time it will.
Let's see. Let's bring up these predictions. Oh, you're into that? Into that guy, huh?
The Book of Doom. It's a big, thick book.
All right, let's share this screen. Bringing it in here. All right. So this is where it gets interesting. Question number 1. I set the over-under at 55 minutes. This episode was 55 minutes. So guess what? In the betting world, that's a push. Nobody gets any points. Sorry, guys. Over-under, didn't matter. Do we get a courtroom scene? So answer to this one is interesting, right? This is where Trev's is screwed. I'm going to read some comic books. Wait.
This is Secret Wars.
So, courtroom scene, while he does talk to the prosecutor in what looks like the courtroom, that's not what we mean by that. You know it. We meant like full-on courtroom scene. So we're going to say no to that one. No's get a point.
Pleading down his client. That's all.
Exactly.
Going. He's just pleading down his client.
Exactly. Trevor's ruling. Does Matt visit a confessional booth? No, but interesting enough, I think based on where Matt's being pushed right now, I believe that's coming soon. If not next episode.
You think his next scene has to be like he has to talk to the priest before? Because that's a big part of Daredevil, I guess. So.
Yeah, it's got to come back at some point. That's why I put it in here, and I think he's being pushed that way now. Mm-hmm. Maybe it takes Heather getting slain, like we think is going to happen, but no for now. All right. Does Bullseye appear? Another freebie, pretty much. Let's see. That's a no point. Except for Star Wars Santa. All right. Does Muse appear? Nobody saw this coming. So nobody gets a point. Oh, wait a minute.
It was kind of like a
yes, good. What do I do?
You're right, Daniel. See what Daniel wrote there?
Yeah, there's some style choices in Frank's office, or so. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so he's basically being pushed in there. I think it's happening. Why did I take the time to just like put that out when I knew everybody had no point? I'm an idiot. Whoa, where did that cat come from? Does the Punisher appear? Most of us got that right, except the Momo, and we're all happy about that. All right. Is there a Defenders reference or character appearance? I did not catch one. Daniel Fisher thought there might be. He took a shot in the dark. So no is getting the point. Yeah, I don't think I saw anything. I added in some spicy stuff here.
You're saying that you just mean Jessica Jones.
Yeah, exactly. I think
or maybe Misty Knight and the other one as well, right?
I'd be willing to bend on that, but I put the characters right in the parentheses here too. But if it was Misty Knight or something, I would maybe concede.
And what's the other Iron Fist name now? The girl that's going to become Iron Fist.
Colleen. Is it Colleen Wing that you're going to give it to her? Huh. Did not know that. Does Fist say Vanessa? We all said yes, and we all were wrong. I actually went back and had to check. In the beginning, I thought he might have said it. First therapy session.
I don't think Rosario Dawson is going to be in this at all. Daniel Fisher.
Yeah, I think she's done. She's making that Ahsoka money.
Yeah.
Snapper Blip? No. I might have to just take that out of there. I don't think they're going to reference it again. It might be gone after this week.
He slept with her too, though, right?
Did he?
I'm pretty sure he slept with her too, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Matt gets it in. All right. Does a character die? This, I'm struggling with what to say because we technically don't see anybody get killed. We know that last dude that Muse has is on his way to death, judging by the people hanging behind him, but he didn't really get killed on screen. He just got some blood drawn. Right?
He stabbed him though, right?
Yeah, but no death on screen this one.
Well,
you know he's going to. It's implied.
Were those other two guys dead that were hanging?
Yeah, but we didn't see them die. We
saw them be dead. How did they die?
Yeah, all right. See, I was gonna stop myself from getting a point here too.
I don't know. I'm just trying to like it's like clearly Muse killed those two guys, so like it's not.
Yeah, screw it. We're going with it.
And he's clearly about to kill the other guy. Kingpin might be about to kill that other guy too.
Yeah, didn't happen though. We do see dead bodies though. Somebody got killed. All right, yeah, because you could say he killed those people. Well, then I always saw it. All right, yeah, we'll go with it. Is a character injured? I probably should have been more specific with this one. I was thinking all like the limbs being broken. No, we're not going injured. Like they have a little scuffle. Nobody's really actually like seriously hurt. Yeah, we're going no. And I'm taking the point away from myself.
Kingpin listening to the music was probably pretty painful for his ears.
Yeah, right. Nose get the point, and I think I'm not giving a point to myself. I'm giving it to Momo here. Nobody else said no. This one I threw in because I was anticipating Matt being jacked up against the wall. I said, does Matt get into a fight? A punch or kick must be thrown. Right? And I didn't think it was going to happen. And then Matt gives Frank a right cross to save me. So technically, he got in the fight. He got jacked up against the wall, hatchet thrown to his right, and he punches Punisher in the face.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, so that's happening. Wasn't like a crazy fight, but it happened. Okay, it happened.
So does that mean that Punisher got injured?
That's where I was like, shit.
and then when Muse stabbed the guy, doesn't that mean that he got injured too?
Oh damn! All right, you're right. Yeah, I gotta give the injury people. All right, I gotta go with all of it. All right, damn it. Didn't think about that. He got me. All right. All right, points everywhere. Let me go back and fix that. Crap. How do I get rid of the other one?
So you wrote that Daredevil would kick someone or punch someone, and then you wrote that no one would get injured?
No.
Did you do that? Was that what your answers were?
No, the question was, does Matt get in a fight?
Okay.
Yeah.
Does Matt get in a fight? And what was your answer to that?
My answer was yes.
Okay, and what was your answer to someone getting?
Oh, I put a yes for injured too.
Okay.
Yeah, I was.
Okay, because if you put no there, if you put no, because
I figured, honestly, in my head though, I saw him like doing some of the stuff we saw in the trailer. Him like the yellow mask guys. Oh, I forgot about that actually. He's like breaking people's legs and stuff like that. That's what I was thinking in my head when I said injury. So maybe I got to clarify that one better. This could get a little foggy.
Maybe it should be like serious injury / blood, broken bones. What's
Daniel Fisher trying to pull here? Well, I think Matt rolled a D20 and did not get a crit hit on Frank. Get the hell out of here. He punched him in the face. That counts as him getting in a fight. It wasn't a long fight, but it was a fight. Is there a cameo or reference to a known MCU character, not Punisher or Defenders? No. Nunza. I'll get the point there.
I don't know. Has Jefferson Starship ever appeared in a Marvel comic book?
Is a new, never before seen hero or villain introduced?
Is it Jefferson Starship that sings that? Who sings that? We built this city. Is it Jefferson Starship?
Dude, beats the hell out of me. I was just wondering why they chose that song and kept going with it.
Skrulls. Daniel Fisher says, yeah, Skrulls. That's right. There was a Skrulls reference.
Wait, what?
There was a Skrulls reference, yeah.
I missed that?
There was a
what did I say?
Reference.
Is there a cameo? Really? I spelled known wrong here somehow, too. What is that all about? Oh, it's because I freaking did the points. That's weird. All right. I guess nobody gets the point then. Way to go, Daniel Fisher.
Oh, hey. Do I got Daredevil Reborn here?
Scrolls reference. When did they say the Scrolls reference?
When he was talking to someone, I think when he was talking to the guy who stole the fiddle faddle, I want to say.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was. I did say character in the question. All right. That one. Does Nerd Mafia beat Star Wars Santa this week? Yet to be seen. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I did cheat last night. Not cheat, but I took a peek at your guys' fill-in predictions after the episode, and Ducky Momo's got me like thinking, "Oh, damn." But we'll get to it in a second. So I was wrong. Mayor Fisk institutes. Oh, did I not do the rest of it here? All right. Mayor Fisk institutes the anti-vigilante laws, codes, etc. That didn't happen. Let's see. And then Daniel Fisher said Fisk makes a speech addressing the vigilante issue and how we solve it. That didn't happen either. Then we get to Ducky Momo. Fisk gets more airtime than Daredevil. When I read this, I was like, shit, am I really going to have to go back and like look at the timing for all this? And then I thought about it. Daredevil got 0 time. Matt Murdock got time. So he's right. And as much as I think that's like an easy out for an answer, I'm cool with it because I don't have to go back and actually try to track that. So I don't care. And Star Wars Santa gets 0 because he said Matt puts the Daredevil suit on again. So we're all happy about that. And let me get this here.
Shadowland. I forgot that I had this. Sometimes when you got too many books,
Yeah.
I got too many fucking books. Look at that Kingpin on that cover. Family business.
Ooh. Oh! I beat him! Eat that, Star Wars Santa. Got you by 1. All right. Look at this. Split decision. Dan's the only one that's got faith in me here. Said I would get him. I think since I started doing that question, Santa's just whooped my ass every week. So yeses get the point. I bet on myself, which puts me up by 2 points over Santa this week. Eat that, Santa. All right.
That's a phrase. Eat those cookies, Santa.
Eat those cookies, Santa.
Bitch.
Golly.
No, that's not. No, you don't want to do that.
All right. So where are we at from last week? Last week I had.
We built this.
I gotta reword this.
We built this city on rock and roll. I can go pet with my Luke Skywalker lightsaber. 1 second.
All right. Previous total is we gotta do. Oh. Should have this ready. Total mess this week.
Power on.
Not doing that for that. All right. What are you doing over there?
I'm having a really good time. That looks pretty good on this camera.
Hey.
When it gets bigger, I want to see what it looks like. That looks fucking good on that camera. Does it not?
Not bad. All right, Daniel Fisher had 25. I had 18. Ducky Momo 23 and Santa with 25.
Thank you, Danny.
All right, the race. The race is getting tighter, guys. You're all still beating me, and I don't like it. But I'm not down by 7 anymore. I'm down by 5. We caught up by 2 on Santa here.
Gain some ground.
Next week, and I'm almost at. I'm nipping at Ducky Momo's heels. So eat that, duck. But next week, good opportunity to play some catch up with the 2 episodes. What's this guy doing? So that's where we're at. I'll have to post that up in the Discord. Show everybody what's up. But overall, not a terrible week. We made it will be neck and neck in this 4-way race here, and not a crazy amount of people here that are beating me. So maybe we'll give out some merch at the end of this if you are ahead of me. It'd be super special if I'm able to just beat Ducky Momo and deny him of anything. So we're going. My goal is to do that. Ultimate goal is to come back and beat Santa. All right, we'll get the prize to Daniel Fisher. Beat Santa, beat the duck. Those are the goals. All right, stay focused. Lock eyes. Anyway, that's where we're at.
Yeah, that looks so fucking good. Like, it looks way better on the shitty camera than it does on the good camera.
Stop stabbing the camera, man. I got to replace that Invincible poster pretty soon too. And all right, yeah, I think we're. I think we're pretty much in the weird zone now. So, any questions from the chat? You got anything you want to know from Trev, from me? Anything you want to talk about before we get the hell out of here? I think he's trying to make some clips from this, man. He's really feeling himself right now.
It just looks so fucking good. Like, I can't get over how good it looks on the shitty camera.
Wondering who the factions are in the mob. Well, we know we got the tracksuit mob, right? Do we have a representative in the first episode just from the hand?
Like I said, and with my theory, Daniel might be a leader of part of one of the factions of the mob. He might be the Rose. He might be operating against his father.
This could be the case. What else? Not sure what action will happen in the next episode. Yeah, we're right in the same boat with you, I think. I think all I got is Heather will die.
Well, like I said, it's a 2-episode week next week, right? So there's got to be a reason for that, right? So
this was episode 4, so it'll be 5 and 6, and then we'll have 3 episodes left.
Yeah.
Think Heather kicks the bucket?
Yeah, like I said, I think she does. Yeah.
And these next,
maybe not in the next 2 episodes, but probably like episode 8.
I'm just saying,
and that's what sets because. And I bet you she probably dies in front of Wilson, in front of the Kingpin, or gets kidnapped. Like Fisk is there,
and they actually have to come together to beat Muse.
Yeah, because Fisk doesn't have any. He's like, you kidnapped my therapist, or something like that.
Kill my therapist? That's what we do.
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely.
Probably like finger painting with blood or something like that. Right?
Yeah. That maybe some tie-dye just splatters it. Oh, we forgot to talk about the painting from the original series was back. Fisk walks by it before he eats his sausage delight. You know
that has his blood on it, right?
Yeah. It's a pretty cool painting. Not gonna lie.
It's minimal art, right? Like if you like minimal art.
What else we got? I did see more people here, but it's all Daniel Fisher, all live, in the chat. Yeah, I pretty much think that's a wrap. Next week, I'll definitely come back and not screw up on screenshots, so it'll be a little bit easier for us to stay on task. No hemo cloud. What the fuck, dude? Whatever. All right. It's a wrap. Trev's going to break something if we let him play with his lightsaber any longer. Either that or his self-esteem is just going to get too much, and we gotta stop him. The man needs to be stopped. Anyway, it was fun chilling with you guys. We'll do it next week. We'll find some other nerdy shit to talk about too. I'm cooking up, I think, a couple shorts, maybe some other videos. Haven't made up my mind yet. I definitely got one coming out the pipe soon. And yeah, that's it. Adios. Sayonara. Peace.
Nerd Mafia, forget about it. We run laps in 12 parsecs, maybe less, and done flat. A good fella here to bless them all with fun facts.
Leave the gun. Take the canal.